Hi party people, what's up? Welcome and welcome back to my channel. I'm Tori and today I'm extremely caffeinated right now and I'm going to talk to you about some of the current trends that I hate and some alternatives for them. Let me preface this by saying if you wear these trends, if you love these trends, trust me, I'm not judging you. If you're rocking them, I'm fully supporting you. I've been seeing a lot of these trends popping up recently and I know so many people can be swayed to buy things based on, what's on Pinterest, what's on Instagram. So I want to share why I personally think you shouldn't buy these things. Can I just say I'm pulling my bangs back because I haven't styled them in a while, and this bump is just reminding me of like the early 2000s, 2010s, like when Hilary Duff used to have this hair and like every girl ever. So I'm coming out of the gate strong. I am really not liking this chunky plastic ring trend that we're seeing a lot. I'm pretty sure this started with like all the Scandinavian bloggers that people have been paying attention to for the past year. It's the reason why everyone was wearing a lot of pastels, a lot of pastel sweatsuits, and I think they all kind of stem from there, and I think this is just the latest trend to come from that. Aside from the whole like Scandinavian fashion blogger side of it all, I also think this trend is heavily inspired by like the Memphis Milano kind of interior design that we're seeing. We're seeing things like these pastels and these like organic kind of forms coming into jewelry as well. And I just think that we can do better than just the plastic kind of rings. I just feel like this trend is just gonna fade so quickly. Now, I feel like a lot of people wear things for the feed, but when I look at them, I'm like, I just know that their fingers are sweating so much. Like I remember when I was little and I used to have these rings, like they would crack very easily. I just feel like they're more childish than they are playful. Obviously, I've talked about how much I love kitschy jewelry, and I think of brands like Susan Alexandra when it comes to really kitschy handbags, or I bought an LU necklace, which I think is really cool, all the glass beads, but I just don't see this trend as in that ballpark. My alternative is getting really cool signet, I think you can use, it's pronounced signet rings, with really fun styles. I know I have friends who have one with like a cool yin and yang symbol on it with like hearts on it. Those also come in a lot of different metals and also come in a lot of different colors, and I just think that is a better way to incorporate this more funky and playful trend into your jewelry, especially if you're gonna buy jewelry that costs upwards of like $70 to $100. I think those kinds of rings are going to last much longer. The next trend I want to talk about is something more seen in like women's tops and women's wear. I don't know how else to describe it, but I've been seeing a lot of these button blouses popping up on my feeds where there's like a little cutout, and the point of the shirt is that there's a large gap in between each button, if that makes sense. And I really don't like this trend. I think it's probably because when I was younger, I was taught that if your buttons stretch in that way, that just meant your clothes didn't fit you. And I feel like this trend is one of those trends that really only caters to a certain kind of body type. I feel like if you're not slender, then it doesn't look as intentional, if you know what I'm saying. And I don't really think that these kinds of tops give any like sort of shape to you. I don't think they really give any kind of funky design. I feel like the alternative to this is just to find really cool tops with an asymmetrical cutout on it. I've been seeing a lot of really cool ones online. We're going back to the trend of like asymmetric sleeves or like a really fun cutouts like on the side panels of shirts. I think I'm seeing a lot of fun ways that you can fake layering. I've been seeing a lot of like cutouts underneath the chest, and it's like a built-in bralette kind of situation. I just think that personally, if you wanted to rock something with a cutout, there are way more interesting ways to wear a cutout, and I just like don't understand this button fastening trend. In the same vein, another kind of trend that I'm seeing a lot lately is patchwork. We saw it a lot last summer with like patchwork denim. We're seeing a lot now with like tops and these second skin tops. I just hate when it's just like there seems to be no rhyme or reason to where the patchwork detailing is happening. It like just looks very weird to me, so I don't really like it. I feel like we're taking a lot more 90s inspiration, so I feel like it came from like the tops of Jean Paul Gaultier and like all these other designers who focus on deconstruction. If you're going to do something with like these really interesting seams and patchwork, I would definitely recommend looking for shirts that use this kind of deconstruction, reconstruction, but in a way that adds shape and form to the body. If you want to embrace this trend, I feel like there are more fun ways to do it and more ways that'll just look really great on you, and ways that'll also look more intentional and less like a botched DIY. Okay, the fourth trend I want to talk about is pants. So yeah, I've been seeing a lot of statement stretchy pants. My biggest complaint about this trend is that the material is not meant to last very long, so I wouldn't recommend buying something like that. A couple years ago, I did have these like snake print flare pants from Zara, which were kind of in the same like stretchy material. I think I might have worn it like 4 or 5 times, and after that it stretched to the point where, you know, the crotch sagged and it just did not look cute. A lot of them are very see-through and they just look very flimsy, and it's like you can tell they're very much meant just for the camera's sake. They're not really meant to be worn a lot. So instead of getting the stretchy kind, I would definitely recommend getting some fitted pants that fit this mold. There's more and more of these coming around. Printed denim has been in for a while, so I feel like it's very accessible. Glittery animal print coming in. If you wanted to try a statement pant trend, I would go for a more tailored and a more structured pant. All right, so the fifth trend that I'm really not liking right now is the rise of the G-string. Specifically, there are pants coming out now that have the G-string look like sewn into the pant. I'm pretty sure the origin of this was like the IMG Maddie Euphoria pants that everyone was obsessed with, and like rightfully so when the show came out, because Maddie looks fucking amazing. It's just another one of those trends that people are wearing for the photo and not because it adds any like cool element to your wardrobe. I mean, I personally love anything from the 2000s. Like, there's literally Paris Hilton is right there, my queen. My problematic fave. Am I too old now? Maybe I'm just old because I'm 24 going on 25, and I'm like, that is kind of weird. I don't really want to see a G-string. I'm very much anti-thongs. I don't really want to see that. Along the same vein as the G-string, I feel like I'm seeing a lot of shirts coming out right now that have tummy ties on them. And essentially it's just a crop top or like a cropped blouse with a little tie that you tie to an exposed midriff. One thing I hate about like the early 2000s trends kind of coming back into style is that now your body is kind of seen as a fashion accessory. If you have your body, show it off. Do whatever you want to do. But I kind of hate when fashion trends and like when, you know, companies are telling us like, you need to own this to be cool. Like, they're also inherently saying like, you also have to have a washboard abs to rock this trend. Sorry about it. And that's always very strange to me. We need to stop talking about like anatomy as if it's like a trendy or cool thing you need to have for a season or for a couple years in order to be in order to look cool, in order to look fashionable, and in order to look like in the know. I feel like it's so outdated. I don't know how to describe this. If an article of clothing has to rely on your dimensions in order to add dimension to the look, then it's not a very strong trend to be embracing. Or, you know, even in the case of like these statement pants that I was talking about earlier, I feel like the statement is in the pant and how you style it and your confidence when you're wearing it, and not so much the body that the pants are on. If that makes sense. I don't know, maybe I'm talking to myself. Maybe I'm just digging myself into like an anti like feminist hole. Maybe I'm, you know, so I don't know. I don't know. So yeah, that's all the trends I wanted to talk about today. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was helpful for you in any way. If you just came in to see me chat and ramble about things, thank you so much. I hope you guys have a wonderful, I'm trying really hard not to use the word guys. I realized I've said it in a couple videos and like, I don't really use, I like don't want to use that word anymore. So I'm really sorry, we're training ourselves. But I hope you all enjoyed this video. Please get a like, a comment, subscribe, do all the things, chat with me down below. I don't know. I'll see you all for the next one. Bye.